Hello peeps, this is Tango and welcome back to Tango's World of Fix. Today I will be reading Thank You for Saving Me by apolloissobbing. Oh my god, sorry, I didn't get that right the first time. This is by apolloissobbing on AO3. Yeah, that's so great. This was published in 2023, completed in 2023, like a week after it was published, or maybe two. No, a week. 2,659 words, 2 chapters, and yeah, it's like exciting to start reading it. I'm gonna just read it in one go though, because it's 2 chapters and only 2,000, about 2,500 words. So like, I just did a one shot that was 3,000 words, so I think I could just fit it in one video because it'll probably be like around 20 to 30 minutes. Is my guess, my guesstimate, maybe like 25. I don't know. Here's the summary. It was a simple raid, take down the villains, collect the information, and it consisted of all the top 20 heroes, plus the unofficial number 1 of the underground, Eareserhead. Keigo thought it was really cool, and he respected the work he did, hence why Keigo was there. You've got to be fucking kidding me. The 3 heroes halted to a stop and looked down to the voice. It was a kid with large jet black wings and spots around his neck where the white t-shirt showed. The child, fledgling's, fingers faded into murky black talons and sort of an elongated form from his nails, just like Keigo. Their hair was curly and green, and their eyes were heterochromic. Oh my god. Chromic? Yeah, heterochromic. One was a normal acidic green, and the other's eye was white, with a black akin to their claws. Or, Izuku is experimented on, Hawks, Eareserhead, and Mirko save him. Sorry, that was so bad of me to read the intro, the summary, I mean. I couldn't read that very well at all. I'm going to take a break and come back, and because I just did a lot of reading just a bit ago, so once I come back, I'll be better, and you're not going to even tell because it's just going to be like in a second. Notes! Hi, this is my first story posted on this account, so I hope it's okay. Please read the tags for warnings and stuff. This story is for fun, so please don't come at me. Apollo, they, Z, it. Okay, let's get right into that chapter. Well, It was a simple raid, take down the villains, collect the information, and it consisted of all the top 20 heroes, plus the unofficial number 1 of the underground, Eareserhead. Keigo thought he was really cool and respected the work he did, hence why Keigo was there. They had been told that the villain organization was led by an immortal boogeyman of the underworld, All for One. Apparently, he had crippled All Might, restricting the amount of time he was allowed to do hero work. But All Might had also crippled him, to an extent. All right, Nezu's chipper voice echoed through the meeting room. Connect your comms and we'll head out. 9 was tired, and they had done so many tests today. His curly bangs stuck to his forehead, and beads of sweat dripped down the surface of his skin, like the condensation on the shower doors. The men in the white coats had used one of their quirks on him again, and it really hurt. Get up, 9. We don't have time for your silly games. We need you to finish your tests. 9, the doctor spoke. His voice was always cold, just like his. Today, we will do a test of trust. We have a reason to believe that the heroes are going to be infiltrating us soon. 9 hid his surprise and hope behind his carefully crafted mask. It was the first thing that the others taught him before they disappeared. I want to see how you'll fare against them. I want to know if I can trust you to hurt and possibly kill the heroes went unspoken, but it was there. 9 nodded. Good. I expect exceptional results. With that, the doctor left the cold room. Prison. It's a prison. Call it what it is. Keigo took a sharp turn, Eareserhead, who was surprisingly fast, and Mirko flanking behind him. Once they rounded the corner, they slowed down at a large steel door. The 3 of them shared a glance before nodding. Mirko charged toward the door and kicked it down. Damn, that girl was steel. You've got to be fucking kidding me. The three heroes halted to a stop and looked down. To the voice, it was a kid with large jet black wings and matching spots around the collarbone areas in places where the torn white shirt showed. The child's, fledgling, fingers faded into murky black talon, sort of an elongated form of nails, just like Keigo. Their hair was curly and green, and their eyes were heterochromic. One was a normal acidic green, and the other's eye whites were black, akin to their claw. Hey, person with the red wings? Keigo sharpened his focus on the kid. Could you cut these cuffs off me? They kind of hurt. Before Keigo could even think of a reply, Mirko snarked. How can we trust you? You may be a kid, but visibly your quirk looks pretty strong. That's fair, the kid reasoned nervously. They pointed to the corner of the room where a thick manila something folder lie. That's my file. I don't remember how old I was when I was kidnapped, but I'm currently 8. I'm sorry, what? What did I just read? Oh my god. The three pro heroes stiffened as Mirko quickly padded over to the corner and grabbed the folder. A feeling of dread washed over Keigo as he watched Mirko's face morph into one of pure disgust. We'll look over this more later. Hawks, get the kid out now, Mirko demanded, and her voice was shaking slightly. Keigo quickly complied and cut the kid out with his talons. The winged boy twisted his wrists and let out an airy laugh. Their head was hanging low, and water was dripping? Oh, they're crying. Keigo didn't know why, but he slowly started to come close to the kid. The kid looked up abruptly. Wide, scared eyes looked up at the winged hero. Tears were welling up in his eyes, and God, if that didn't break him. Kiddo, can I pick you up? Keigo's voice was soft as he spoke, and the kid's gaze sharpened. They looked exhausted. The boy hesitated for a moment before nodding. Keigo picked up the child and felt as their breathing slowly evened out. They went slack in his hold for a moment, and Keigo was scared he killed the kid, but then Eareserhead huffed. They're asleep. Let's get out of here. The three pro heroes ran, and flew, in Keigo's case, out the door, and outside towards the police teams. Nezu had always been a curious animal, so to say that his curiosity was heightened by Hawks when he walked out, flanked by Mirko and Eareserhead holding a child with curly green/black hair, large jet black wings, and murky black spots in places across his skin, which was an understatement. The three heroes walked towards Nezu, and Mirko handed off a thick folder. I don't know what the I don't know. Be careful reading this, Eareserhead warned. The kid's been through something like you have. From what Mirko read, it was gruesome. Nezu watched as Hawks and Mirko brought the child into an ambulance that was on standby. Mirko hopped, quite literally, into the back of the ambulance and nodded towards Hawks, who then flew away as the raid was done. Nezu turned back to Aizawa and asked, "What's the child's name?" Akatani Midori Izuku. Notes. Next chapter will be posted next Sunday, if I don't get too restless. Another thing. I know this chapter is short, but the next one will be longer, followed by a longer than this, but shorter than the next one. Another thing. I have testing right now, so it might be slower for the next part of the season, but it's already made chapters. I'm confused. Stay safe. Oh my god. Stay safe and take care of yourself. Apollo. They, Z, it. Okay. I'm going to just go on to the next one because it's only 9 minutes in. Chapter 2. One day, I want to smile like that. Summary. Hawk's face seemed to light up so bright that brighter than the sun, and a smile as equally as bright split onto his face. His eyes were crinkling at the corners, and he had dimples on his cheeks. One day, Izuku thinks to himself, I want to smile like that. Oh gosh, that's so crazy. What? Notes. Hi, stars. This chapter's TW/CWs are TW/CW dehumanization. Only for about a sentence, but still. Panic attack. Self-harm, pulling hair. I think that's all. If there's anything else, let me know. Stay safe while reading. Okay. Rumi leaned her head against her best friend's shoulder. Keigo had always been there for her, more than anyone else. Hey, Rumi? Keigo started. He was tired. She was too. They hadn't slept in more than 3 hours since they met the kid. Did they really meet him, though? They had said 2 sentences, then, rightfully so, they passed out. If I said I wanted to adopt this kid, what would you say? Rumi hummed, too tired to acknowledge the question fully. I'd say wait till they wake up, then talk to them and make your decision. Keigo made an unintelligible noise and then leaned into Rumi more. Fuck you and your logic. That makes perfect sense, Keigo grumbled. Rumi snorted and spoke again. Better hurry, though. I heard Eareserhead has a knack for adopting kids, and he has the power of Nezu on his side. Keigo groaned again and was about to make a snarky reply when there was a soft, so broken whimper from the hospital bed. It was the kid. They still hadn't read the file yet officially, both too scared to see what the hell this kid had gone through. If the scars, so many, too many, that marred his body were any tell, it's gruesome. The whimpering grew louder as they were trembling. It was a nightmare. That much was apparent. Rumi remembers how when she was little, a bit younger than this kid, she had bad nightmares. So they were probably nothing compared to theirs, but her mom would come into her room and guard gentle, caring hands through her silky white hair. So that's what Rumi did. She got up, shimmied herself next to the kid in the hospital bed, and carted her hands through choppy black-green curls. Now there's a problem. Every time she tried to get up, the kid starts whimpering and whining. She's totally not against it, but she really has to pee. Keigo, please switch me, Rumi whisper-hissed. Keigo stifled his laugh with his hands. Fine. Keigo rolled his eyes fondly, and they smoothly swapped places. Holy shit, he hissed fondly. Rumi, why didn't you tell me that this kid's hair was so fluffy? I wonder if his wings are fluffy too. Rumi let Keigo stare in awe with his hand in their hair and went to the bathroom. Keigo sat next to Rumi around the circular table, pinkies interlocking like they did whenever they had a particularly jarring case. He thinks this is jarring. Name: Akutani Midoriya Izuku. Age: current. 8. 9. Was brought in when he was 4.5. Birthday: 7/15/2208. Mother: Midoriya Inko. Status: deceased. Father: Akutani Midoriya Hisashi. Status: alive. Compliant. Experiment number: 9. Original quirk: quirkless. Added quirks: fierce wings. A mutation formed from winged hero Hawk's DNA. It behaves exactly the same. We are unsure as to why the wings are black rather than red as Hawk's own. The hair doesn't seem to have anything to do with it, as Hawk's is naturally blonde. Something to look into indeed. Another note is that instead of regular talons, Nine's are jet black, identical to his wings. Nine's hearing and vision's heightened, presumed to additional mutation. Hop: an enhancement formed from the rabbit hero's Mirko's DNA. This quirk added a physical enhancement to Nine's legs, jumping higher, running fast, higher resistance. Along with this, Nine's sense of smell was enhanced, and its hearing wasn't enhanced by much due to the previous added quirk. We are unsure why Nine didn't get an exact copy of Mirko's quirk like it did from Hawk's, presumed to be because of the already added quirk. Training stage: 10. Most loyal yet. Hopefully a success. Shota is a level-headed man. He had seen the worst of society as an underground hero. So when he says that this case is terrifying and disgusting, he means it. And he's not entirely surprised when Mirko, "We're off the clock. It's Usagiyama Rumi to you, Eraser," she said with a feral smirk. And Hawks have to excuse themselves. Nezu broke his cup of tea. Shoto himself has covered the second half of his face, eyes wide. Tsukashi is in the room with him. He had his head in his hands, and his hands were trembling. They don't even know the full story, but the implications alone... For the first time in a long time, Nine didn't see Red. Red was all that he knew, for as long as he was alive. But was it really alive? Was it just an experiment? Nothing more. He wasn't alive. He didn't have feelings or emotions. "Stop!" Nine's brain screamed. "They wouldn't want you thinking like that." Though he didn't entirely oppose it. Not seeing the Red was nice. Safe. Nine slowly became more aware, consciousness gripping into ruthlessly and cruelly. When he awoke, it was bright, painfully so. Fluorescent lights buzzed harshly, banging against the hollows of his skull. He didn't register where he was until he tried to get up, and only to tug against an IV cord, and, in his distress, he looked around the room to see red, black, white, and then he registered those colors were people. Those people were heroes, and those heroes saved him. His breathing is picking up, and he's hyperventilating. He can't breathe. The red Hawks, number 3 winged hero, his mind supplies, and it's worse now. Hawks gets closer and takes his hands out of his hair. When did that happen? "Hey, kid, can you name 5 things you can see?" Keigo says as the kid looks up at him with wide, scared, and confused eyes. "Trust me, okay?" You, the white, black, and the IV in my hands?" The kid, Izuku, stammered and stuttered over his words. Keigo nods. "Good job, kid. How about 4 things you can feel?" "Your hands around my wrists, and the hospital gown, and the blanket, and my hair against my forehead." "Attaboy. What about 3 things you can hear?" "Breathing, the lights are buzzing, the heart monitor." "Good job, kid. You're doing great. 2 more. 2 things you can smell?" Antiseptic and, sweet? Something sweet?" Keigo snorts and then nods. "Probably my shampoo." "You did great, kid. 1 last thing. 1 thing you can taste?" The boy, Izuku, hesitates for a moment before uttering, "Blood? I think I bit my lip." Keigo grimaces for a second before nodding in confirmation. "Hey, kiddo, can you remember your name? Not a number. Your name." Izuku shakes his head hesitantly. Keigo smiles softly before speaking again. "We went through your file. It said your name was Izuku." Izuku's eyes went swell with tears. It had been so long. Longer than he can remember since he had been called a proper name. It was a little scary, but not the bad kind. It wasn't the kind of scary that the doctor or the others in white coats. It was excited kind of scary. The kind of scary where you knew something big was about to happen, in a good way. But distantly, Izuku felt Hawks' arms wrap around him in a comforting hug. He was warm. Safe. The heroes were outside of Izuku's hospital room. The boy long since falling asleep from exhaustion. Naomasa was with them, an impassive look on his face. "I'm sure you all know why you're here. We need to figure out where to place this kid." The detective let out a breathy sigh. "I have half a mind to let Nezu take him, and as a ward of UA, but the 3 of you have been the closest to him, so I wanted you to tell me what you think is best." There's a moment of thinking before Eareserhead speaks up. "I'll take him in. I've recently adopted a child already, and, this is no offense to either of you." The underground pro hero glances at the 2 limelights. "I don't think you'd be qualified enough to raise a child, especially one so traumatized." Before Mirko can beat Eraser into the ground, Hawk speaks, staring directly at the pro. "I disagree. I don't think you'd be able to help Izuku. At least not him specifically." Eraser looks downright pissed. Me and Mirko have interacted with him the most, and he has my exact quirk and a variation of Mirko's. There are things that you just won't understand about Izuku like me and Mirko can. Hawks finishes. Eraser looks a bit more willing to listen now, and he gestures to his fellow pros to continue. Hawks sighs before continuing. When I was younger, my senses weren't as trained as they are now, and there were times when I would shut myself into a dark closet because everything was too loud. Those types of things were only things that we could take care of. Hawks is right, Mirko starts. There's a fierce burning flame of determination in the rabbit heroine's eyes. There's shit the kid will do that you won't understand, and although you could learn, he's gonna feel isolated since neither you nor your family do that. He'll question why he's different his entire life, and it's going to hurt him in the long run. I believe Usayama's son is correct. Sorry, I could say her name very well. Everyone jumps at Nezu's chipper voice. While I believe that it would be lovely to have Izuku-kun as UA as a ward, the points that her and Hawks have made largely outweigh my reasoning. Naomasa knew what that meant. Paperwork. Woohoo! Keigo walked into Izuku's hospital room, a small smile decorating his face. Izuku had wide eyes, always, as if he was looking for something, scared something was going to hurt him. The hero sat next to the boy. So, we've figured out where you'll be going. The younger winged boy seemed to become more scared, aware. We figured it would be best for you to come with me. You think that's okay? It's completely up to you, Keigo reassured. Up to me? Not, Izuku. It was hard to rid the habit of calling himself by his number, but he thought to himself solemnly, nothing has ever been up to me, at least not without underlying threat of, if I choose the wrong one. Izuku shook his head at that thought. The heroes have been nothing but kind to him. Kinder than the doctor, and even kinder than the others. Not that the others weren't kind, but they always seemed so tired and sad, and they always tried their best, though. Izuku thought a bit more before hesitantly talking again. I think that's okay. Hawks's face seemed to light up so bright, brighter than the sun, and a smile as equally as bright split onto his face. His eyes were crinkling at the corners, and he had dimples on his cheeks. One day, Izuku thinks to himself, I want to smile like that. Notes. So I ended up posting this a day early, but whatever. Okay, so there's one more chapter until the end of this story, and I have to work on the next part, which includes a little pre-canon and canon. I also haven't finished the next chapter / last chapter, but I have a rough outline, so it should be finished and posted in half a week or 2 weeks. Honestly, I'm so excited for the canon event because there's so much I could do / change around. I can't say it. Okay. Overhaul era. That arc. Okay, wink. Okay, one more thing. Who do you guys think / should be the holder of One for All? It can't be Izuku, since he's OP already, and he doesn't need to be anymore. Constructive criticism is appreciated as long as you're nice about it. Basically, don't be bitchy about it, like, this is all wrong, you should get better, you should have done this. I just find that kind of rude. But if you're like, hey, I noticed blah, 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 that's not really how you do it, that's wrong, but this is how you do it. I'd be appreciated a lot. Stay safe, everyone. Apollo, it. Edit. Okay, I know I said there was going to be another chapter, but then I realized it doesn't fit with the mood of this specific fic. So sorry, sons. But don't worry, because I'm almost finished with the chapter for the second part of this series. Not canon events, but it will be leading up to canon events. Just plot important details that don't really fit into the two main stories. This edit was made in 2023 at 8:03 p.m. Okay, 8:05 p.m. whatever. Okay, and then any constructive criticism is appreciated. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Oh, also, I do want constructive criticism if anyone has it, for just me as reading, because that was it. So there's no more to read about that, which is, like, sad. But that's okay. You know, it's okay but yeah, okay. So, okay, let's just do that. Oop, that's not what I didn't want to do. Sorry, I'm just, like, trying to find the comment so I can post this. So I can, like, give them the... Yes, okay, here it is. I need to give them credit, so I need to send this to myself. So great. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Whatever, that works. Yes, okay. Okay, so some things that I liked about it. If you look in the tags, because I don't read the tags to you guys, because why would I? I feel like I should start doing that. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know, who knows? Okay, anyways. The tags, so it said that he was, so, aromantic and asexual Izuku. And I was like, wait, no way. I'm asexual, guys, by the way. And I really never find anyone that is, not true. I mean, I don't know very many people that are asexual. And I don't know why that is, because I guess, I don't know. I mean, okay, when I say that I'm asexual and bi, people are like, what? You can't be both. That's not how it works. You can't do that. And I'm like, okay, well, listen to this. I don't like sex and sexual, that stuff is no thank you. No, I don't like that. So asexual, that is me. But I do like romance. Like, I think it's super sweet. Like, just having someone that you're close to in a romantic way that, I don't know, you can have special moments with, but they doesn't, like, a special moment with someone that you love and care for doesn't have to mean something intimate in that way. You can have intimate moments with someone in a different way. You can have, like, I've had so many moments that with, like, people in the past that I can just say were romantic. But it's not like, I love that. I just think it's so nice. Like, I don't know, Valentine's Day is like a romantic day. Maybe you give someone like a bouquet, something, a thing of flowers. Okay, because I can't say that word. You know, and that's super romantic in my opinion. Not super romantic. It's romantic. I love flowers, okay? Anyways, but like, just little things, like, I don't know, head pats, hugs, I don't know, just like just listening to someone ramble on, specifically me ramble on. Those are, like, just things that, like, why wouldn't you want that? I mean, everyone likes different things, so I'm just saying these are, like, things that I would like, and I picture as, like, if I had ever a romantic partner, that I would want them to do, like, just, like, listen to me ramble on sometimes, because I like to do that, you know? But I just, you know, so, I keep educating people on what asexual means, because, like, also, I've been on Discord servers, a lot of Discord servers, because I have, like, a thing about that. Yeah. But anyways, people just don't know what it is, and they're like, oh, so you like to, have sex a lot, or something. I don't know what people assumed, I forget. Oh, they said you just hate everybody. That's one main one. I was like, no, I don't just hate everybody. What do you mean? I don't know. Sorry, that was, like, a little bit too much rambling about one thing. Okay. Anyways, also, I want to say, he's 8 years old? What? Well, also, in the Verdant Analyst, I'm pretty sure when he escaped, sorry, that's another fic that I'm recording. It's an ongoing, like, a longer one. No new chapters of that one yet. It's been a while. When's the last time that was updated, actually? Let's see. Updated the 9th of April. Yeah. Well, anyways, I don't know. That was just, so he's 8 years old? That's crazy. Anyways, I really enjoyed this fic. I hope you did, too. And if you did, please remember to leave kudos and comments for this creator to show your support. And this is Tango signing off. Bye.